What if I told you that your body has a right over you that you may have been neglecting your entire life? What if the fatigue you feel, the spiritual emptiness you cannot explain, the constant battle with desires and distractions is not just stress or routine exhaustion, but a sign that your body and soul are overdue for purification? The Prophet said, everything has a zakat, and the zakat of the body is fasting. Pause for a moment and truly think about that. We know the importance of zakat when it comes to wealth. We understand that money must be purified so it does not corrupt our hearts. But how often do we consider that our own bodies, constantly fed, constantly entertained, constantly satisfied, also need purification? We live in a world designed around comfort. Food is available at any hour. Entertainment is endless. Desires are marketed to us every second. We are taught to satisfy every craving immediately. Hungry? Order food. Bored? Scroll. Tired? Escape. Everything around us whispers the same message. Indulge yourself. But fasting stands in direct opposition to that culture. Fasting says no. No to instant gratification. No to being controlled by appetite. No to being a slave to desire. And that no is where true power begins. When you fast, you willingly experience hunger while food is within reach. You feel thirst while water is close enough to touch. That moment, when your stomach tightens and your throat dries, is not weakness. It is strength being built from within. You are proving to yourself that you are not controlled by your body. Your soul is in charge. Your faith is in control. And that silent internal victory is one of the most powerful transformations a person can experience. But fasting is not just about food and drink. If that were the case, it would be simple. The real test begins when hunger affects your mood, when irritation creeps in, when someone provokes you, when your patience feels thin. That is when fasting reveals its true purpose. It exposes your character. It shows you who you are when comfort is removed. Do you respond with anger, or do you restrain yourself? Do you complain, or do you reflect? Fasting becomes a mirror, showing you the parts of yourself that need growth. Think about this. If you can walk away from what is permissible for the sake of Allah, can you not also walk away from what is forbidden? If you can control your need for water while thirsty, can you not control your tongue when tempted to gossip? Fasting trains the muscles of self-discipline, and like any training, it is uncomfortable at first, but that discomfort shapes resilience. It builds a person who is not easily shaken by desire or emotion. There's also a hidden beauty in fasting that many overlook. It softens the heart. Hunger makes you aware. It reminds you that not everyone chooses to fast. Some people live in hunger. It humbles you. It makes gratitude real. That first sip of water at sunset feels like a gift. That first bite of food tastes different. Fasting renews appreciation for blessings that were once taken for granted, and gratitude is one of the most powerful forces for spiritual growth. Now, let me ask you something honestly. When you fast, do you only abstain from food, or do you also fast with your eyes, your tongue, your thoughts? Because the true zakat of the body is not partial purification. It is complete awareness. It is guarding your speech. It is lowering your gaze. It is controlling your reactions. It is remembering that Allah sees you even when no one else does. That private discipline, that hidden sincerity, is what strengthens faith in ways nothing else can. Perhaps you have experienced this before. That moment during fasting when your dua feels deeper, when your heart feels lighter, when your connection with Allah feels closer. That is not coincidence. That is purification taking place. When the noise of constant consumption is reduced, the soul becomes clearer, and clarity brings peace. But here is the challenge. Fasting is temporary. The question is, are its lessons temporary too? After the fast ends, after Ramadan passes, after the routine returns, do we carry that discipline forward, or do we slip back into old habits? The zakat of wealth is given once a year, but its impact lasts. The zakat of the body may be observed for a month, but its transformation should shape the entire year. Imagine a version of yourself who is not easily controlled by cravings, a version of yourself who chooses patience over anger, discipline over indulgence, purpose over impulse. That is the person fasting is trying to build. Not just someone who avoids food for a few hours, but someone who rises above desire altogether. So here's my question to you, and I want you to answer honestly in the comments. When you fast, what is the hardest part for you? Is it the hunger, the thirst, the patience, or is it controlling your reactions? And more importantly, what lesson has fasting taught you about yourself that you did not know before? Reflect on that, because fasting is not meant to leave you the same. It is meant to refine you. Just as a zakat purifies wealth so it can grow in blessing, fasting purifies the body so the soul can grow in strength. The hunger ends, the thirst fades, but the discipline, the humility, the awareness you build, those are meant to stay. And if you truly understand that everything has its zakat, and the zakat of the body is fasting, then you will realize that every fast is not a loss of comfort, but a step toward becoming stronger, purer, and closer to Allah.